right, Shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Quadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the 144,000, the rest of the elect. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson, Lord willing, is edifying. And Trump won the election. All right, so I believe in the spirit, man. Things is about to take some interesting turns. All right, it really didn't matter who got in at the end of the day. It's the will of the Lord that's going to be fulfilled on the left-hand side, which is the will of the bankers. All right, Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man, but specifically the elites, the central banking families. They're the ones that's in control. All right, underneath Yahweh Shai, and on the left hand, Satan. You see, so it don't matter who's sitting in that seat. The agenda is going to still be pushed forward. And what's the agenda? To set up a new world order. All right, to set up this new world economic order. All right, in which the microchip implant, the RFID microchip implant, is going to be mandated, and that's the only way you're going to be able to buy and sell according to Bible prophecy. So, okay, we're looking at things from a biblical lens. All right, with the eyesight, we understand prophecy. You can't be disappointed that Kamala didn't get in there because you believe that she was going to make things, it was going to speed up. It's on the Lord's time. He puts up who he wants, right? Psalm the 75th chapter, ultimately. All right. It's Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai that make those game-changing decisions like that. He put it up one and set it down another. All right, promotion doesn't come from the east, west, roughly paraphrasing. So we got to rejoice, man, because this is the guy that's fit for the job according to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. And I believe, Operation Warp Speed, I still think things are going to speed up. I don't think in any way, shape, or form that Trump is going to prolong anything. He's not that type of dude. I feel like maybe under Kamala, that would have happened, but once again, it's still two horns of the same head at the end of the day. All right, this is all an illusion of choice. They about to do away with democracy, period. You got people saying, well, Trump, oh man, now that Trump is here, Project 2025. Kamala was doing Project 2025 too, bro. Outwardly, she was speaking against it, but if you listen to the only few policies that she's ever even spoke about, or even just her, outlook on certain things, and, that was still Project 2025, man. So at the end of the day, whoever's sitting in that seat, they going to the same goal. They just taking different directions, so to speak. You see, so call hello Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, man. I hope, things do start to speed up. And we could be in a peace and safety type of situation where people are now feeling, eased. At least some people, the black woman is pissed off right now. She is pissed off because she wanted a black bitch president, which she ain't even really, she's not an Israelite. All right, at the end of the day, I don't think she's an Israelite. She's a heathen. But once again, doesn't matter because you got Trump in there who is still a heathen. All right, so-called white man, Edomite. And what is he? He's pro-Israel. All right, he's backing up that Israeli state, them fucking small hat gutter rats, who's basically getting this Third World War hot and heated up, which once again is the Lord doing it, because you could always go back to prophecy. That's the point. Everything goes back to prophecy. All right, it said we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. You can't make America great again. All right, this place is on its way out. And at the end of the day, it's the Lord's will. All right, but it's on the left-hand side. It's the central banker's will. Like I said, it's the Rothschild family, the Edomite elite families who basically control this whole setup, man. This global setup here. And what are they about to do? They about to bring forward that new world order, man. That microchip, that digital currency. It don't matter who's sitting in there, man. Because they could easily take them out. You see, if you got somebody sitting in there that's against the bankers' policies, the bankers' agendas, that's against the UN agendas, the World Economic Forum agendas, the WHO agenda. If you got anybody resisting it, they're going to take them out. And this is the point why I want to bring this article out real quick. All right, from the peoplesvoice.tv. Because things is about to get very draconian out here. All right. We believe Trump is Nero. I believe that. And, Nero was like a no-nonsense type of guy, man. So, under this man's rule, which once again, he ain't really ruling shit, but he's just the foreman, the frontman, if you will. I believe, things is about to get harsh out here, man. That's what draconian goes back to. It goes back to basically harsh laws. Somebody do a petty crime and you ready to put them to death. Just check this out. It's Democrats propose policy fact-checking units to target conspiracy theorists spreading misinformation. So you should already know, if you're a man of this faith, a servant of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua that's doing the work, you study the scriptures. To me, that sounds like code word for persecuting the prophets. All right, you do see Trump, he mentioned on the Joe Rogan podcast about how you have the prophets out there in the streets speaking about America's destruction, that America's going to be destroyed in 2025, 2024, 2025. Well, that means he's aware. They listen. They know what they know about us, man. And they hear the videos. They see what we prophesy about. And guess what? That's pride. Just give it a second. That's pride, because they believe, even though the prophets is on the scene, they believe they could still rewrite the future, even though the future is already being foretold to them, man. You Edomites, you so-called white people, you all going down, man. America, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. You could censor the internet. You could take down all the videos that we do. America's still going to be destroyed. You so-called white people are still going into slavery underneath Yahweh Shai and the nation of Israel. All right, these prophecies are not going to stop for nobody. You see, the Lord measured the time. He said he's not going to move or stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So this is what the Most High wants, man. This is what Yahweh by Shem Yahushua wants, to basically do away with this work. He said he's going to make it a short work. All right, in the scriptures, I can't remember exactly where it's at, but he said in your days, he will perform a work and there'll be a short work. So we're not trying to be here forever, man. The faster, the better. At the end of the day, the quicker they move forward with these fact-checking units and stuff like that. That's just how they painting it so it could sound appropriate or politically correct. But really what they want to do is just get this word off the internet, man. They want to get us off the internet. They don't want people in their society who's telling the truth, man, about what's really going on. See, they don't want you talking about how they're the ones that's doing a controlled demolition of the global economy. All right, they don't want you knowing about that. They don't want you knowing about the RFID microchip being the mark of the beast according to the Bible. They don't want you to know that. They just say, here's a chip. You need this to biometrically identify yourself in order to buy and sell. But they don't want you to know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is coming back, man. That Yahweh Shai is coming back. All right, that what the world ignorantly calls UFOs is really the chariots of the Lord. And that's how he's returning to destroy America. They don't want you to know that. Because then you'll be emboldened by this truth. If you're an Israelite, that is. All right, so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American. Excuse me. You'll be emboldened by that. So at the end of the day, just a few more points before I read into this article and get some scriptures. This thing was only about sealing the elect. This ministry, this preaching of this truth, it was only meant to reach to the ears of the elect. Everybody else that heard it, that's not the elect, it condemned them. You see, so once they move forward with these type of policies like this, the war on misinformation, because that's a big thing when you go into the 2030 agendas, and the different global New World Order agendas, they all have policies that include extreme censorship of the internet. All right, and even consequences, even under the penalties of death for spreading misinformation and stuff like that. And so this is the persecution, man. This is what's about to come, because they can't set up the New World Order while you got people speaking against it that's condemning it, and they're using the Bible to do it. You can't have that. So it goes hand in hand. As they move forward with their agenda, they also have to move forward with persecuting us, man. They have to. It goes hand in hand. So just be looking for that. You know, even though so-called Trump is so-called pro-speech, I mean, you know, whatever, pro-freedom of speech, with Elon Musk with their whole campaign about, you know, basically giving the ability of freedom of speech to people, you're going to see just how quick, you know, how much of a hypocrite they really are. These politicians are liars, man. All right, at the end of the day, they can't have us out here saying the things we saying, condemning their New World Order while they setting it up. So that's a major step in moving forward with this agenda that they got, is shutting us down, man, coming after us, killing some of us, etc. And it's in the prophecy, it's in the scriptures. So we're gonna get to that, but first I want to read a little bit of this article. It says Democrats are calling for stronger powers for fact checkers to combat the spread of so-called misinformation. Yeah, so-called misinformation, because what's misinformation to them is information for the elect, all right, which is the truth. See, they'll deem the Bible as myth. They'll say this is you know, it's not true, it's not substantiated, you can't prove it, blah blah blah. But not you know, the scriptures say what? It's a thing of faith. All right, so we believe this based off of faith, even though we can prove all things in the scriptures. We can show you that it's in the Bible, but their whole thing is that the Bible is not valid. All right, so you can't just stand alone on the scriptures according to their New World Order. You see, because it's anti-scriptures. Everything about their New World Order is against the Holy Bible. All right, it's a satanic thing. So they saying they're gonna combat. Combat is a word, you know. Combat, that's like fighting. You know, that's like you striving. You see, that's not a word of just a policy. Oh, we're just gonna sit down and talk. Oh, we're just gonna change our censorship laws. You know, they're gonna actually come down with troops, man. All right, because we're not gonna stop. All right, you can't silence the men of the Lord. Actually, it says they hate him that rebuke in the gate. Where is that in Amos? I'll get it in a sec, Lord willing. But the scriptures tell you about that. Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? So they're gonna deem us. We already the enemy, of course, but they're gonna publicly deem it in society. All right, this initiative is backed by a controversial law enforcement group known as Lexipol, which aims to create police-run fact-checking units. So it's like somewhat of a private police, because I looked into it. You could click on the right here, you know, the link. And I was looking at their website a little bit. And basically they're all about, you know, creating a safe society and all of this bullshit. And a part of that is what? You know, the spreading of so-called misinformation is dangerous to the citizens, because if people are actually listening to what we say, all right, they're not going to go forward or go along with their New World Order agenda, which is ultimately going to destroy you if you go along with it. I'm going to show you in the scriptures. If you go along with this New World Order, especially you get to the point where you take the chip, you're going to be destroyed. There's no hope for you. There's no way that Yahweh Shemel Shah is going to deliver you. All right, because the scriptures tell you can't love the world and love the Most High. All right, and this world is against the Most High. So why would the Lord save you and you a part of this world that hates him? You know, that doesn't make sense. So be ready to be persecuted if you really believe in this truth. All right, and stand, you know, like they say, 10 toes down. You know, stand on business, because they're going to come violently. They're going to come with with force. It said these units will be tasked with censoring misinformation in real time and punishing those deemed responsible for spreading it. See? Punishments. Draconian. Harsh. This is Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. It's talking about America. All right, John the apostle was having visions that the Lord was sending him. All right, of the last days, of the end times. And what he saw, what Revelation 13 is about really it's about America. All right, it's that beast, that last beast, you know, that just basically came out of Britain. You know, when you actually go into the breakdown, it came out of Rome and it came out of Britain. Well, really, it didn't come out of Rome, but it's like a rebirth of the ancient Roman, the pagan Roman Empire. You see? And the beast coming up out of the earth just means it's a kingdom that arose, like America rose up into power. And he had two horns like a lamb. So the beast, whenever you read in the scriptures, the prophets, sometimes when they had visions that the Lord gave them, they saw kingdoms in the form of animals, beasts, which, you know, different animals have different characteristics and traits that are likened to those particular kingdoms. And what is the two horns like a lamb represents? The two horns like a lamb represents their bipartisan government, having a Democratic Party and a Republican Party, which they rule together. So again, even if, the Democrats want this agenda, but the Republicans don't. At the end of the day, the government decides if they're going to move forward with it. It don't matter if you got Republicans against it or Democrats against it, because they all supposedly got to come together to come to conclusions. That's their whole thing. You know, that's what makes this beast diverse from the rest of the beasts. When you read about the vision, I believe it's Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Or if it's not 2nd, it's the 7th chapter. Salakia. Where it speaks about that 4th beast, you know, how it was diverse from all the other beasts. Because in the ancient world, all you had was kings. You know, you had the vassals, I forget what they call it. Man, it's just escaped my mind, but it's a style of government. But then when the Romans came in, then they had that Senate bullshit. You know, Mars Hill, Capitol Hill, etc., which, again, America is the rebirth of the ancient Roman Empire. So they brought back that ancient pagan rulership. That's the two horns, all right? And the lamb represents peace, you know, because they speak, everything they say, it just sounds so good. You know, it's just all about peace and democracy and liberating people and giving you freedom and rights. You know, you have freedom. You can go out there and vote. That's where it said he had two horns like a lamb. A lamb is a peaceful, innocent animal. But check this out. And he spake as a dragon. And that dragon goes back to Draco, all right, which basically in the ancient times, I think it started in Greece, if I'm not mistaken, according to the history. That's really a Greek concept, but the Greeks and the Romans were the same, one and the same. But it basically just means like violent and harsh laws, you know. Basically, 1 second. With Trump, right? He said he want to bring back the firing squad, you know, the lethal injection, the electric chair as forms of capital punishment, the guillotine. You know, he's saying that, you know, basically certain people deserve those type of punishments. And what they're going to do is they're going to deem that we deserving of those type of punishments just for speaking his truth. All right, we're not terrorizing nobody. We're not killing nobody. We're not selling drugs. They're the ones doing that. We're not human trafficking people. They doing all of that, but then they're going to demonize us for speaking his truth. But again, that's a part of the will of the Lord. That's why you can't bug out. All right? You can't tweak out and, what the fuck is happening? Well, why are they doing this? This is not fair. All right? You got to, you know, stay in frame, so to speak. All right? You understand. You know, you're supposed to have understood, man, what you are part of. All right? What the Lord chose you for, to be one of his soldiers. All right? He's going to speak as a dragon. They're going to come down having great wrath because they know they got a short time. All right. And every time we go out there and we speaking and prophesying, is making the time even shorter, because the Lord said for the elect's sake, he was going to shorten the days. That if he don't do that for his elect's sake, no flesh will be saved. All right. So Lexipool is a company, a company that works with police departments in 35 states across the U.S. is suggesting that law enforcement set up misinformation/disinformation units. These units will be tasked with tackling information deemed false by the authorities and granted powers to monitor and arrest those who share the information. Okay, persecution is coming, man. And it's all the spirit, because, well, let me get into this now. On Saturday, Elder Apostle Tahar went into 2nd Ezra 16. We didn't get to finish it because, you know, the spirits like the wind. And that's just how it is. You can't tell where it's coming from or where it's going to go. That's what the scriptures tell you. But he said after we was done, he said, well, we're not going to finish this tonight. So he said brothers could do videos on 2nd Ezra 16. So it was already in my mind to do that. So now I'm just going to get to the point. Really, I'm not going to break the whole chapter down. That'll be a lengthy lesson. But what I am going to do is start from the 68th verse, all right? Because this is a prophecy. 2nd Ezra 15, the 15th chapter, and 2nd Ezra 16th chapter. We're living in these times right now, all right? And especially with Trump, you know, being about to sit back on that seat, these things is definitely going to be coming to pass, man. These two chapters. All right, so when you start at verse 68, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered to idols, unto idols. So the burning wrath of a great multitude, that's what we're reading about in this article. They want to prepare. Basically, they want to approach this thing with an iron fist, if you will, with violence. You know, they're not just going to censor it. Oh, just delete it off the internet and that's it. No, they talking about arresting people, punishing people. All right, that means they got a hatred. They got some type of a burning wrath. Like I said, a burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. So you got people that want to take us out of here, man. They already know you can't compromise the men of the Lord, the true men of the Lord. You could compromise these fake ass niggas with, you know, pretending to be Israelites with their garments, with their t-shirt garments, you know, prophesying with their hat covered, all these fucking camps, man. They was compromised already. Them niggas already sold out. But they know the true men of the Lord, the actual elect prophets of the Lord, there's no compromising them. So they're already ready to go to the utmost extreme. And you got to remember that what the Lord said, if they hated me, they hate you. And you're not greater than me. The servant is not greater than the master. So why was the Lord put to death? Why was he given capital punishment in ancient Rome, crucified on the cross? Just for speaking. He didn't do nothing. Just for speaking. All right? Just for prophesying and saying the truth. So what you think is going to happen to us, man? You got to be ready for this. This is going to be the fucking wake-up call for all you Israelites, man. You see? This thing ain't no fucking joke, man. And you brothers that's not diligent, you're not serious about this thing, you're not growing, you're going to be put on a test too. We all will. All right? We all going to be tested, man. All of our faith is going to be tried. We all going to be in a situation of tribulation. Okay? But that's the point of having this truth and serving the Lord, man, to have that hedge. But you guys that are just lazy, you're not interested, you're not diligent, well, you're going to be caught out there, man. All right? Because guess what? You're still a part of this thing. Even though internally, it's like we almost, trying to say things correctly, but it's like we know you're not. Like what the scriptures say, they went out from us because they was not of us. Roughly paraphrasing. So, there's spies amongst all type of stuff is going on, bro. But at the end of the day, for the sincere men that's really genuine about this truth, things is about to change, man. All right, we're not going to be out here much longer. According to Amos 8 and 11, right? There's going to be a famine of the word, and it's going to come by what? That them coming down on us, man. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. See, so if you going along with it, you just go along to get along. You guess what? You're going to be destroyed. All right, they don't care about you, man. These people are not doing this for your best interest in mind. They're doing it for their own personal interests. All right, you can't set up a new world order when you have so much resistance from the people. You gotta deal with that first before you move forward, or else you'll have a harder time. All right, so again, remember, it's just the will of the Lord, man. We got to be tested. We got to prove our faith on every level. All right, not just speaking and, we go to camp when everything is good. What about when they move forward with this part? You still got to be faithful, man. You still got to trust in the Lord and say, well, look, I did the work. And so now, I should get the reward. I served Yahweh Shem Yahushua like he told me to. And now you expecting to be delivered, man. You have faith that the Lord will save you from this, because we not doing nothing wrong, man. We doing everything right. But what we doing some stuff wrong in the sight of Esau, of the so-called white man. But he's not the Most High. He's not the judge, man. All right, he's not an angel. He's not nobody. He's a man. At the end of the day, he's the wicked. All right, and we prophesied. We commanded to prophesy against him. You see, at all costs, at any cost. It's better to, God damn, man. It's, what did they say in the book of Acts, man? Should we rather, let me get it real quick. Rather than men. Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahweh Shem Yahushua rather than men. So that's what they said back then. They was getting persecuted, the apostles. All right, they was getting persecuted for speaking the truth back then. All right, they was being draconian back then, the Romans. They was killing the disciples of the Lord, man, just for speaking the truth. So, all right, it's going to be like an Acts 2.0 out here, man. But this time the Lord is going to raise up certain men with spiritual power. This time he said he's going to lift up that standard against the enemy when they come in like a flood. All right, so we all living in somewhat, I'm not going to say, like different times, but how they say, like, history repeats itself, but not 100% this time, man. Because back then they killed all the men of the Lord. And eventually, if they didn't kill them, they died, man. This time is a time of salvation. We waiting for Yahweh Shai to come back. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. See, those that fear the Lord, they do what the Lord said to do. They do what Yahweh Shem Yahushua tell them to do, which is going contrary against what this new world order is telling the people to do and what the so-called white man is telling you to do. But we just read it. Should we rather obey the Most High rather than men? No, you're supposed to fear the Lord. So there's going to be an insurrection against you. The word insurrection means a violent uprising against an authority or government. So you're going to have insurrection within the government. Because that's another thing. With Trump, the January 6th thing, they called that an act of insurrection. Which technically it was. Excuse me. But when coming to what the prophecy says, insurrection against those that fear the Lord, they're going to come against the men of the Lord with this misinformation bullshit. You see, claiming that it's misinformation and it's dangerous and it's a conspiracy theory, when no, it's Bible prophecy, it's conspiracy fact. All right, and America will be destroyed, and it's not like we the ones that's going to destroy it necessarily. America's own allies is going to destroy America. All right, NATO and the EU, they're going to turn against America. America's enemies is going to destroy it. Russia going to destroy it. All right, we just the mouthpiece. That's it. But what do they always say? Don't shoot the messenger. But this man has no fucking honor, man. All right. Yeah, we the ambassadors of Yahweh Shai. So they can't touch Yahweh Shai. They want to, but they can't touch Yahweh Shai. So who they going to touch? Us, his servants his representatives. That's the uprising, a violent uprising against authority of government. It's Yahweh Bashim Shai's authority in government that they're going to come against. You see, so it says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So they're going to come with all type of troops, all type of new policies, where they're going to be stripping people out their homes, you know, under executive orders. They're going to be seizing people's property, all right, in an emergency situation. Because remember, it's going to be a cyber attacks. There's going to be all type of things going on while they use all of that to justify their new policies, you know, their new world order. How they're going to come. They're going to use certain black swan type of, you know, events or whatever to roll this thing out, you know, to implement this thing. You see? And it's going to be happening all over the place. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Let me see if there's more into this article here. All right. Yeah, I'll just finish reading it and then I'll close it out. A recent article on policeone.com, a site for law enforcement professionals, posed the question, are you ready for the battle against mis/disinformation? See? Are you ready? It's going to be a war. Given that Lexapol works with over 8,000 police agencies across the country, this question carries a lot of weight. The article cites January 6th as an example of misinformation that could have been suppressed in advance by police with fact-checking powers. For example, the January 6, 2021 attack on U.S. Capitol was fueled by widespread disinformation and misinformation about election fraud, leading to unprecedented violence and overwhelming police operations at the Capitol. Some officers were even perceived as sympathetic to the rioters, further eroding public confidence in law enforcement's impartiality. See, so if the police don't want to do it, well, then we'll just get our own police. We'll just get private police. We'll just get the military. That's what that the Department of Defense, that document that they recently passed off on, which said that the military could use lethal force on U.S. citizens that they pose or they deem as an imminent threat to society. And that doesn't have to be a physical threat, once again, because all we're doing is speaking. But they're saying, well, that's sedition. What you're speaking is sedition because you're getting other people roused up to rebel, okay? You're basically making the people come against the government. You know, they're not going to listen to the government because they listen to you. You see, the proposal goes beyond just identifying misinformation. Lexapol wants police to work with tech companies and community organizations, including the Anti-Defamation League, of course, to create, that's the anti-semantics, to create systems that can spot harmful content in real time. Content deemed harmful will be immediately censored and the social media user will be dealt with by the police. This obviously raises serious concerns about the potential for government and tech companies to collaborate in ways that could infringe on free speech and liberty. Well, that's it. It's over. Say goodbye to all of that. Don't believe Trump. It's going to be, you know, we're going to bring back democracy, freedom of speech. You're going to see what, all right, man. The company recommends that police creates units specifically designed to find and fact-check false information, as well as develop counter-narratives to push back against misleading claims. This approach raises important questions about how far law enforcement should go in monitoring speech and whether it might lead to more censorship. So this is just the beginning, man. All right, we just read the prophecy already. It's going to get to a point where they're going to be like madmen, sparing none. They're going to be killing the prophets, some of the prophets. But on a mass scale, they're going to be persecuting us. See, whether that be by taking brothers to Guantanamo Bay, you know, whatever that entails, man, whatever they got planned. All right, this is going to happen. This is over. The whole show is over, man. This America, this dream is all done. It didn't matter who got in. But yeah, with Trump in there, be ready for this draconian thing, man. You know? Be ready for more consequential punishments for basic stuff, man. Just for, making a video like this. You see? And maintain your faith. That's a message to the Akim, to the brotherhood. Maintain your faith. Don't be disappointed that Kamala didn't get in. Understand what the will of the Lord is. And we got to be patient, man. That's a part of this that's a big part of this truth, man. Being patient and waiting on the Lord to do things. It's on his timing, not ours. So with that, I'm going to say, call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Hope and pray you will edify. To the elect, I say shalom.